Today I'm behind the wheel of a brand new 2021 Audi A4. Now the A4 is the most popular sedan within Audi's lineup, and it was refreshed pretty significantly back in 2020, especially on the outside. But for 2021, Audi made some big changes on the inside. There's now more power, quattro all-wheel drive is now standard, wireless CarPlay is now standard, among other things. So just how good is this brand new A4? Well, keep watching and find out. I want to give a big thanks to Audi Westmont for making this video possible. So if you're in the market for a brand new or used Audi, definitely check them out. Their URL is in the description and on the screen. First, let's talk about the powertrain. With the Audi A4, there are two engines you could choose from. It's labeled a 40 and 45. Now they're both 2-liter turbocharged i4 engines, and they're both mated to a 7-speed automatic. And for this year, a mild hybrid motor has been attached. And by doing so, the standard horsepower goes up 13 horsepower. So that's a big change for 2021. So the model I'm driving today has the 45 engine, the more powerful engine. And now with the additional horsepower, the total output is now at 261 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. And 0 to 60 should come in around 4.8 seconds. So later on when I go for a drive, I'm definitely going to test and see how fast this Audi A4 feels on the road. Now the other big addition for 2021 is of course wireless Apple CarPlay. Many people can't live without Apple CarPlay, and it gets a little bit better with wireless capability. Unfortunately for Android Auto, the wireless capability has not been added yet. Now since I'm talking about this wireless Apple CarPlay, let me show you this 10.1-inch infotainment screen. So this is among the best in this class, and that's because it's fully touch. There's no knobs or buttons or touchpads you have to worry about. Everything is touch. It's right at your fingertips. It's nice and big. And I think the interface is pretty good. Pretty easy to understand. A few quick navigating buttons on the left side. And every menu, everything is pretty easy to figure out. The only thing is, certain times there's slight lag, but other times it's butter smooth. As you can see, scrolling left and right, up and down. It's pretty good. Now also for 2021, a lot more standard safety features have been added. For example, lane departure warning is now standard. And also if you do get the Premium Plus package, which this one I'm driving does come with, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, and a 360-degree exterior camera system are all now standard. So what are some other standard features that you get inside this A4? Well, you do get a power sunroof, LED headlights, also leather seating surfaces, so everything you see here is real leather. You don't have to pay extra for it. Also, you do get heated front seats, high beam assist. You get gray oak natural wood inserts within the dash and door panels. They look good and they actually feel really good. They feel like real wood, and that's what you want. You also get 3-zone climate control, which is pretty nice, easy to figure out. You can see the heated buttons on both sides, 2 knobs for temperature control, and a few switches in the middle to control your fan speed and modes and all that good stuff. The rear seats also fold down flat, which gives you more cargo room. And if you look inside the trunk, the space inside isn't bad. There's actually a good amount of space. There's a 12V outlet on the right side. You do get a spare tire, but of course, if you fold down the rear seats, you can see that you can put a lot bigger and longer items in the back. So that is also standard. Now speaking of second row, because this is considered a compact luxury sedan, the rear space is a little bit limited. I'm 5'10", and you can see I have only about 2 inches of legroom, barely 2 inches, and 2 inches of headroom. So there's not a whole lot of space in the second row. However, the seating surfaces, the quality, the amenities is top notch. Now this one I'm driving does come with the Premium Plus package, which adds on a whole lot of features. For example, you do get power folding mirrors, memory driver seats, full LED headlights out front. You get a parking system. Also, you do get Audi's virtual cockpit, which gives you a digital gauge cluster. And as you can see, it's very bright. It's nice. You can scroll through many things, trip computer, all that stuff. Also maps and radio. And there's dual modes, so you can enlarge the maps if you wanted to. I love that feature about the virtual cockpit. This just makes a whole lot of sense inside this A4. And in my opinion, the virtual cockpit inside the Audi is better than the one inside Mercedes and BMWs. they just don't work as well as this one. Lastly, heated steering wheel is also within this Premium Plus package. That's in addition to the new standard safety features I already talked about. All right, I'm on the road. Let's see how good this brand new A4 is on the roads. Now, I did mention at the beginning of the video that this A4 was refreshed for 2020, especially on the outside. And I gotta say, I love this exterior look. It doesn't matter where you're standing, any side, any angle, it doesn't matter where you're looking at. This A4 looks gorgeous from everywhere, So looking at the front end, you have that very aggressive and bold look. I love the huge grille. It's a Audi staple. And then look at those very sleek full LED headlights on both sides. Everything together just looks good. And especially look at the lower bumper, because this does have the S-Line package. You have very unique openings on both sides that adds a bit more sportiness to the overall front end. And for me, I think this is the best for this class. If you're looking at the compact luxury sedan class, this is the best looking front end by far. Now moving to the side, you can see this A4 has a traditional sedan profile. You can see that it sits low to the ground. It has a nice stance. The roof is a little bit lower to give that sleek look. And you know what? I think it looks good. You do have some chrome surrounds and windows. That's about it. And look at the standard 18-inch wheels. They have a nice shape, a good design. And look at this beautiful metallic tangle red color. It really makes everything pop. The LED taillights, you have a nice chrome bar that stretches across. And look at the bottom, you have nice chrome finishers. The whole car just looks absolutely stunning in my opinion. I love the way this A4 looks. Now once I got in, the first impression I had was, this doesn't really feel small. This is a compact luxury sedan, so I was expecting this to be on the smaller side, but Audi has been making the A4 a little bit bigger with every generation, and it's actually pretty big up front. You know, shoulder room, plenty of it. Hip room is good too. The center console doesn't take up too much leg space, and overall width, yeah, pretty wide. And when you're standing on the outside looking at the A4, it definitely looks more like a mid-size sedan these days than a compact sedan. And inside, that's a good thing, because you do kind of get that airiness in here too. There's a lot of headroom, especially with the sunroof open. You let the light in, it definitely feels pretty spacious, and that's very good. Now, I did mention about the second row. So unfortunately, the second row, you don't get a whole lot of space, but it's adequate for most adults. And what I'm surprised by is the trunk space. You actually get a very large trunk in the back, which is really nice. So you can configure the A4 with sports suspension, and this one is equipped with it. And it tightens up the suspension. It basically improves the overall driving dynamic, especially around corners. And I can tell you, on normal roads, I can feel it already. Not so much around the corners, just with the potholes and just the imperfections on the road. I can definitely feel it a little more. But I will say that it's not uncomfortable. It's actually still pretty comfortable. It's not nearly as bad as some of the sports cars I've driven, but I could definitely feel it being a little bit tighter, a little bit more bumpy than some of the other luxury sedans I've driven in the past. If I have an opportunity, I'll take a corner sharply and see how it is. But right now, it's okay. Now, besides the sports suspension, what about the steering? Well, the steering is kind of mixed. I'm in auto mode right now. There are driving modes that you can select from: comfort, auto, sport. I'm in just auto right now. The steering is okay. It doesn't really match the characteristics of the sports suspension. So there is slight, steering play, as you can see. It's not the most precise steering, and also the weight is a little bit soft, on the softer side. So the steering is just okay. I'm going to test out sport mode and see if it makes a difference in a little bit. But the steering wheel is good. I'm a big fan of Audi steering wheels. They have a really simple design, very elegant, and they feel good too. And the buttons, very little of them. You could figure out pretty easily. And there are paddle shifters in the back if you wanted to shift yourself. Steering overall, kind of neutral. I think it could be better, but I'll test it out in sport mode in a little bit. Now, as for acceleration, just around town right now, I think it's okay. I do feel like there's a slight turbo lag when you're accelerating. So the power is not that linear. It's a little bit slow at first and then it kicks in. Now, I haven't done full acceleration yet, full throttle. I'll test that a little bit, but I can tell there's a slight delay when you press down on the throttle. So as for cabin noise, also kind of in the middle. There's no wind noise, so that's good. But cars passing by, I do hear it quite a lot. And also, there's a little bit more from the road. I don't know if it's just the tires or suspension, but I do hear a little bit more from the road. It's not too bad, but again, compared to some of the other luxury cars I tested before, they were a little bit quieter. Now, sitting here reflecting upon this dash and the center console, I think Audi nailed it. This is what a luxury car's interior should be like. I mean, there's just good use of aluminum and also piano black, but not too overbearing. And this oak wood inlay is simply fantastic. Fantastic. It looks good. It feels good. And let's not forget about these leather seats. Yes, they're actually real leather, not leatherette, right? But of course, they have a dark tan brownish color, and it really contrasts well with everything else in here. So this interior in here is fantastic. I'm a big fan. As I'm coming to a stop, the brakes are also kind of in the middle. So the brake pedal has like a 1 or 2 inch give when you press down and you really don't feel anything. And then the brakes kick in really fast. So it's not the most precise braking feel. It doesn't have that linear feel that I mentioned so many times with my other car reviews. This one does, but there's like a dead space, about 2 inches where you press down and nothing really happens, and then you start feeling it. So it's a little bit weird. But once you get past that, the A4 does come to a stop. All right, I'm gonna change the driving mode to dynamic, aka sport, and see how it is. Right away, I can feel the revs jumped up, so that's pretty normal. Let's see how acceleration is. Yeah. Acceleration is good. It's good. That was pretty quick. I mentioned at the beginning of the video, 0 to 60 around 4.8 seconds. That felt like it. Again, just like when you're normally accelerating, there's like a split second where, you know, I think there's turbo lag, but once it kicks in, you just rock it down. That was really quick. And the engine is really, really quiet too. The engine is quiet, exhaust is quiet, so it's almost like an electric car. You're just flying without any noise. So, acceleration is good. Now, but what about the drive in sport mode? Well, kind of mixed. It's not too bad, but it doesn't feel very natural either, meaning that the revs is a little bit high. It doesn't shift as much for you, so it tends to get annoying. And plus, it does waste more gas this way. So I don't know about keeping, you know, sport mode on or dynamic mode on all the time. As for trims, there are 3 to the brand new A4. The base is the premium, and with the 40 engine, the price is a tad above $39,000. Next, you have the Premium Plus, which starts under $44,000, but with the 45 engine, it's over $45,000. Finally, you have the Prestige, which starts under $50,000. Doesn't matter if you choose the 40 or 45 engine. To conclude, the 2021 Audi A4 is an elegant and stylish luxury sedan. The outside is among the best for this class, and so is the inside. The cabin design is made of soft material and nice wood inlays, and there's great use of aluminum. The virtual cockpit and the infotainment system is simply outstanding. The seats look great, feel great, and they are very comfortable in both rows. The A4 provides plenty of trunk space, and the second row folds down flat. The upgrades for the A4 are a bonus for 2021, including additional power, wireless Apple CarPlay, and more standard safety features. Lastly, the A4 provides great visibility, very quick acceleration, especially with the 45 engine, and a quiet ride even at high speeds. The bad to the A4 includes the cramped second row room, the steering isn't the most precise, the brake pedal has some dead space, and the sport suspension stiffens up the ride a bit too much. Overall, I'm giving the brand new 2021 Audi A4 Premium Plus a score of 100. To see where it ranks among other luxury sedans, check out driversonlyrankings.com. Thanks for watching, hit the like and subscribe to the channel, and check out these 2 other videos.